Hey you guys, what is up? What is happening? What is going on? As promised, I am here to deliver you guys a 3 looks in 1 palette, this time using the Jeffree Star Mini Jawbreaker palette. I guess it's called Mini Breaker, but I can't help but say Jawbreaker. The Mini Breaker palette, a lot of people were in love with this whole color story, and a lot of people, I was surprised, said they would actually prefer to use this one. So I wanted to make sure that I gave this palette enough attention and enough love for those of you who either picked this up or were planning on picking it up. So I wanted to do 3 looks today for you guys, and I'll show them right here on the screen of what you can expect. 3 totally different looks that you can play around with and have some fun. And of course, you can always intermix the different colors and change it depending on what you want to do. And of course, there's endless possibilities, which is so cool. I love that he came out with this little mini palette. It's a little more affordable, especially for those of you who want to dabble in the Jeffree Star shadow range, but you don't want to invest in one of his big mega palettes like the Jawbreaker. I mean, it's pretty different. I thought they would be like super comparable. There are a couple shades within the Mini Breaker that are dupes, and 2 of them he actually included from this one into this, but it's still very different. Like, I look at these 2 and I just feel total different inspiration for different types of looks and stuff. So I think that's really neat. I think that's really cool. However, they're also very cohesive, and if you have both palettes, you can intermix the 2 and add and, you know, take away and blah, 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 blah. Now, before we begin, I would love it if you guys would take a moment to consider going down and hitting that little red subscribe button. I won't make a big spiel about it, but I just want you guys to know, like, it's there. If you're new to my face and you like what you see so far and you want to see some more, just tap that little red button. Enough about that. Let's go ahead and get into it and start showing you guys my little tutorials of the looks that I created. So if you guys want to see all that, if that all sounds good and dandy to you guys, well, then you know what to do. Sit back, hang tight, and keep on watching. So first up, we're gonna go ahead and do this kind of more neutrally toned down look. That way you can kind of see how versatile this palette is. And I had a lot of requests for that gold shade, so I wanted to utilize that and just make it kind of a more like wearable type of look. I mean, whatever colors you wear is wearable, but you know what I mean. For this round, I primed my eyelids with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer just to cancel everything out, but I don't need to like brighten it or anything necessarily. I just don't want to compete with any undertones, and it works as a good eye primer as well. And then to set just underneath my entire brow area, I'm just going to use a base shade that's really close to my skin tone. This one's from the Jane Iredale Naturally Matte Kit, and I'm just going to pop that in right under here. Now I'm going to go in with Double Scoop, which is like a beautiful butterscotch to me type of color, and I'm going to place it right into this front half of the crease and blend it out. That is so pretty. Oh my goodness. This shade is just like the perfect amount of like orangeness, but not too bright, and like more on the neutral side. And it is just super pretty. I'm gonna take it to about 3/4 of that crease and then just leave this little quarter over there. That is blending out like a dream. Oh my goodness. Just take this really fluffy blending brush and just make sure that it's extra blendy. And now I'm gonna go in with Hot Fudge right into that little quarter section of the crease that we left. Now I'm taking just little tiny back and forth strokes. I'm not going like too ham because I don't want to disturb that marigold butterscotch shade too much. I just want little tiny itty bitty bits. And then I'm going in with that little fluffy brush and just dusting the edges to make sure again that I get a nice blend. Yeah, that's looking real cool. You know, I don't love gray on me usually. This is kind of like a cool tone brownie gray, but I think if I use like a little bit like this, then it looks really cool. I'm liking it so far, which I didn't know. That shade, I was like, I've had a couple requests to use it, and I was like, how am I gonna use it? Because I just, for some reason, my eye area doesn't look the best with grays, but this is working. So I'm happy. I'm a happy camper right now. Now I'm gonna go in with this little packing brush and take that same Hot Fudge shade, and I'm going to just do the edges. Connect that. Connect the dots. You know what's funny? Like, I don't think I look the best in grays, but my whole house is gray. I love gray, all gray, everything, but it doesn't necessarily compliment me, but I don't care. I even kind of did my hair. I mean, it always looks a little yellow on camera, but it's like actually kind of like a grayish white now in person, and it looks fine. I don't know what it is. I can wear gray lipstick too. Why is it? Maybe because my green eyes, like, they definitely don't look as bright green right now against these tones. So maybe that's what it is. Like, not that it washes me out, but I guess it kind of washes me out. I don't know, whatever. It's just something that I have to accept. But anyways, moving on. Now I'm gonna do a little, do I want to totally cut the crease? Yeah, let's do it. Let's cut the crease with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer or whatever concealer you have on hand. Load up my little crease brush that I like to use. Let's cut that crease. Cut out the edge right there so it blends into the gray. All right, now I'm gonna go in with Slice. That shade is so pretty, and I'm gonna cover that whole concealer up with that. Wow, that gold shade is fantastic. Ooh, this is neat looking. Okay, I'm gonna go do the other eye really quickly. I'll be right back. Before liner and lashes, I'm gonna go ahead and intensify that crease area of color. So I have this little itty bitty tiny pencil, not even a pencil brush, liner brush, tiny thing. And I'm gonna go in with double scoop and very gently go around the crease that I cut. Sometimes this adds just a little bit of depth, especially if I lost some of it when I was cutting the crease. Just pop it in right there. Just be gentle not to disturb that crease that you just worked so hard cutting and laying down the color. There you go. Little bit of depth. You see the difference? And then with that gray shade, I'm just gonna make sure that has a blend. So I'm gonna go back in with Hot Fudge. Just very gently tap it, and then all the way up here, again, creating a little bit of extra depth and blend. What do I want to do on the lower lash line? Let's go in with double scoop. And then Hot Fudge. And of course, make sure that that's all blended out. And of course, for inner corner highlight, I'm gonna go right in with Slice, that metallic gold shade, just extending it. But it would be cool to do like something more contrast, more bright, whatever you wanna do though. But I think it looks kind of cool against the matte on the lower lash line. For liner and lashes, I've been trying to decide whether I want to do a wing or not. Oh, I hate when I can't decide, and it's not like I can lay it down and decide, because then it is what it is. I think it might look kind of cool with a little wing, or I could ruin the look. Could go either way. Let me go. I'm gonna go do a wing. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'll be right back. All right, went ahead and did the rest of the liner and lashes, and I'll pop up everything on the screen right here of what I used. For lashes, I went ahead and used the Rouge and Rogue lashes in Slayer, and I just love it because it's great with this little winged out look. It looks really dramatic and beautiful, and I did a little nude lip. So yeah, that is the look. It's so cool that with this bright palette that you like instantly see pinks and purples, you can get a more toned down neutral look, but still get some dimension and some interest in there. So I'm loving this little guy. I think it is super cool, but let's go ahead and turn it up a notch and get into some bright, funky type of looks. Next up, we have this orange and purple blown out smoky halo eye, and it's very intense, very in your face, but of course, feel free to substitute any eyeshadow colors you would like from this palette or whatever palette you have, but I'm loving this look. It's really intense and beautiful, and I'm loving it, so let's jump into it. Okay, so of course, I've already primed my eyelids. This time I used the Frankie Rose I Promise eye primer for that. Now, obviously, there's no base shade in the Jawbreaker palette, so I'm gonna mini Jawbreaker palette. So I'm gonna go in with the regular Jawbreaker palette and use the shade Virgin, which is like a white base shade, but use whatever you feel is fine. I mean, I have a million palettes with this color in it, so obviously you don't have to buy the full-size Jawbreaker just for this one shade. But if you have it, bada bing, bada boom, there you go. And of course, I just set underneath my brow like I do in every single eye tutorial. What can I say? When you know what works, you know what works. You don't need to stray from that. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with Purple Punch right there. It is a beautiful, beautiful purpley matte, and I'm gonna pop it right onto the corners. Now this one, you know, it blends a little bit pink, but that's okay. We can deepen it with the Bite Me shade because that one is very, very purpley. So I'm gonna just use this to blend first right onto the edges because we're gonna be doing a very blown out halo eye, as you saw. Take it right down all the way to the lash line. And then take a fluffy blending brush. This one is the Sigma E40. Lightly tap into Purple Punch and just blend out those edges right up top. Kind of blow out and soften the outer corners too, right down here. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and just do the same thing on the lower lash line, making sure to connect those corners and leaving a little space for that orange right in the middle. You know what? It didn't blend out too pink. It's only very slightly pink, but it's a pretty good purple. I stand corrected. Let me go in a little bit with Bite Me, just a little bit to deepen up down here and up into the crease, but I'm quite liking it. There's just a couple areas that I kind of want to fill in a little bit. Ooh, got a little bit of fallout with that one. Huh, I didn't get that the first time I used it. Maybe I just loaded up my brush too much. User error. Yeah, that just deepens it up a smidge bit. And make sure it blends nicely into the other color. And then do the same thing all on each and every corner. Now I have a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna take this brush, and I think that it'll perform okay without laying anything down, but I just wanna make sure it really sticks. I'm just gonna lay that concealer all up into this area, all the way up. Ooh, and just tap the edges out so there's a little tiny blend. And right down here as well. I'm gonna exaggerate this line down here so I go a little bit past the purple line that I did. Now I'm gonna take this little smaller brush and go into Orange Crush right here. Now Orange Crush is almost identical to the shade Suck in the full-size Jawbreaker palette right there. So you could totally get away with doing this look if you have the full-size Jawbreaker palette, but this one, Orange Crush, has like that glitter mixed in that is very, very slight. So it's not a full shimmer, it's just like a matte with some flecks of glitter in it. I'm gonna pop it right on top. We're gonna try the brush. I might go in with a finger, but let's see what happens. Dude, that is like superhero vibes, really nifty. Go up to like right here, and then I'm gonna take a blending brush in a minute to blend right there. Ooh, a little bit of fallout with that too, but again, I might have loaded up my brush too much. Let's take this little brush while we have it and pop it right down here. See, the glitter like barely shows up. Like it's honestly, it's not even necessary. I think it's a dupe shade. A dupe, a dupe, a dupe. Then I'm just gonna gently blend right up here. And then don't forget to blend the bottom as well. I'm gonna take my finger, pop a little bit on there, making sure it's nice and intense, just pressing it on. Yeah, that made it like a little more neon. Hopefully everything stays there, doesn't move around. Pat the edges, and then I need to take this little, kind of like a fluffy pencil brush, and go into Purple Crush, the first shade we used, and make sure that blends together. Now for the inner corner, there's not a ton of shimmer shades in here, but I'm gonna mix up my own because I was thinking like I want like a fiery highlighter. So I'm gonna take a little bit of Orange Crush and a little bit of Slice right there and kind of mix them together. Take it on the back of my hand, get a nice little mix in there. Ooh, yeah, okay. And then I'm gonna pop it right in there. Ooh, see that? So it's like gold, but it has like that orangey, fiery shift to kind of go with that orange in the middle. Very fun, very cool. So you can always intermix things together and create your own little situation. We don't really need a 19 million palettes, even though we're all obsessed and we love them all. You can always try to make what you have work. And that's why I love these like one palette challenges where I try to come up with a bunch of different looks, or 3 looks, because I have to get creative and work with what I have. Well, the only thing I couldn't really do is a base shade, but you can only do so much, right? But let's do some liner and lashes really quickly and wrap up this puppy. So I'm gonna just do a little liquid liner on there. I wish that I bought a bright orange eyeliner thing. I looked, LA Girl doesn't have one, so I have to look. Maybe NYX has one. I don't know. If you know of a good, like, you know, what is it, a gel liner that's bright and orange, drop it down below. Let me know. Help a sister out because I need that in my life. But I have a purple one, so I'll coordinate. I just coordinate, you know, whatever. And pop on some lashes. I'm going to be doing the Rouge and Rogue because those lashes are extra and they'll go perfectly with this. So let me see. I'm gonna either pick Electra or Slayer in here, and you'll see in a second which one I picked. So we'll be right back. All right, here is the completed look all done. I went ahead and used the Rouge and Rogue. Oh my gosh, Rouge and Rogue lashes in Electra. I always mix up the names. And I am really digging this. It's totally giving me like superhero vibes, but I cannot put my finger on which superhero it would be. I thought Batwoman, but I looked her up. No, maybe villain. Maybe villain vibes, like superhero world villain, because a lot of villains rock the purple. So if you know which superhero or villain wears purple and orange, if any, drop it down in the comments below. Help a sister out, let me know. But otherwise, I'm really loving this look. It is like in your face, intense, but smoked out and really pretty. And I'm loving that. So hopefully that did your purple vibes a little bit of justice. Of course, you don't have to take it this dramatic. You can always do whatever shade you want right in the middle, but it'll still give some oomph, you know? I think it would look super, super cool with this shade called Oral, which is like a very shifty, oh, that's so pretty. Oh, endless possibilities. You can even do the gold, whatever you want to do. You can do you. For the last look today, I'm gonna be doing this pinky bubblegummy look with the Oral shade on top to give that duochrome shifty shift. It looks super complex, but you guys, this is the easiest out of all the tutorials today. It is so easy, but it feels like it has a lot of depth and dimension. So let's go ahead and begin. This time I primed my eyes with the new Anastasia Beverly Hills eyelid primer. I haven't used this before, so it's a little risky to do that, but it seems manageable, seems doable, and you know, I'm gonna try to make it work, and hopefully we can see if it'll actually work too. A little bonus try on during this video. Now to set underneath my brow, I'm gonna be going back in with the Jawbreaker palette again and use the Virgin shade, just as I've done in literally all the tutorials today. And P.S. the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer is kind of like a white eye primer, and it did a really good job canceling everything out. So just in case you didn't see before, I want to say white, but it's like a very, very fair tone, like very fair. So it really cancels everything out, and hopefully it'll make these pink shades and everything that I'm going to use today pop. Now to start off, I'm going to be going in with this darker tone pink shade called Foreplay, and I'll be packing it right onto the entire lid and a little bit past where my crease is. Just a little bit. Ooh, that pink is amazing. That pigment is gorgeous. Wow, really pretty. Wow, this might very well be one of my favorite pink shades ever. That is fluid and pink and pigmented and gorgeous. Whew, holy smokes. So if you notice, I took it in kind of like a round shape. Now I'm gonna go in with this little tiny blending brush. I just got these from Luxie Brushes. This is the 121 mini tapered. It came in like a set, and a lot of you guys said you actually got it in BoxyCharm. So that is a super cool score. I had to order these myself. I'm gonna take this little itty bitty tiny blending one, and I'm gonna dip it into bubblegum right here and blend out that edge. Ooh. This brush is awesome. I have like those slightly hooded eyes, so I've been looking for a mini brush set for a while, and when I came across this set, I was like, oh, have to have it. Looks perfect. Oh my goodness. This blending brush is not disappointing. Wow. Take it all the way around, just kind of give it a blown out, like circular type of vibe. That shade is so similar. It's the tiniest itty bit different tone, but it works really nice as a transition shade. I'm sure you could honestly blend out that shade to give you that diffused look. I don't think it's necessary to have both, but it softened it. It softened it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it's a slightly different tone. This one's much richer. This one's more like a bubblegum pink. Whew. Okay, before I decide what I want to do on the lower lash line, I mean, you guys have already seen what I do. Let me take this shade called Oral now, which is a really cool shifty shade. Ugh, I'm gonna be patting it right onto the lid just to give it like a little bit of interest. I think it's really cool to just do like a matte pink eye, but I gotta give you guys something else to work with here. So I'm gonna take this and kind of transform that shade with it. Concentrate most of it right near the lash line. Oh, that's so pretty, really cool. And then gently pat it up. I don't want it to go all the way up to where I blended. I just want it to go right over the crease and kind of diffuse. Okay, I think I'm gonna do purple on the lower lash line. I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna take Purple Punch. Oh, my dryer's done. I gotta go fold some clothes in a minute. Anyways, I'm gonna take Purple Punch with this little tiny brush, again from Luxie Brushes, called Mini Round, and smudge it down onto the lower lash line. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of Bite Me. Against the pink, it looks more pink than my last tutorial where it was more purple. So I'm gonna take Bite Me to kind of intensify that purpleness of it. For some reason, when I use Bite Me, I didn't know if it was a fluke, but now, seeing it's my third time I'm using it, if the little tiniest bit of fleck gets in my eye, it really burns. So I need to be really careful. I might have a sensitivity to this shade. It's only been with this Bite Me shade. Ooh, woo, okay. And now I'm gonna take a little bit of that Oral shade with the kind of metallic-y shift in there and just gently tap it on top of that, just to keep that cohesiveness. It's gonna be very slight, but it just gives an extra shifty shift. Blend that out. I'm not re-dipping into the pink. I'm just gonna use whatever's still left on the brush. This is that little mini blending brush that I was using when I was blending out bubblegum. Yeah, and it's keeping a little bit of that and then kind of just balancing it and bringing it from up here all the way down there. Really cool. Okay, one more thing to do with this palette, and I'm gonna take a little bit more of this ABH concealer, not concealer, pff, it's like a concealer, the ABH primer, and I'm gonna dip into my little tiny crease brush that I do for carving out my creases. But whatever little brush you have that you can help get into that little inner corner, because I want to make this part pop. And you can use a concealer, whatever that you have for this. Doesn't have to be the ABH primer, of course. This is the first 3-in-1 video I've done where I've used a different primer or technique with every single look. But hopefully that shows you guys you don't have to have like the exact products that I'm using. You can try to make it work with what you have, baby. Press that out so it kind of blends it. And then I'm gonna go back in with Oral one more time and put it right on top. Yeah, that's cool because it makes the like blue duochrome part of it stand out more. And it just kind of brings it all together. That's cool. Hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, I think you can see what I'm showing. That's pretty cool. Dude. This is pretty nifty. Ooh, it's very like pink alien vibes I'm feeling. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Now I'm just gonna go do some basic liner, throw on some lashes, and show you the completed look and all that. All right, you guys, so here's the completed look all done for you to see. And of course, as with the other eye tutorials, I will list everything that I used over on the sidebar. That way you can know in case you want to recreate the look at all. I went ahead and did the lower lash line, the lower lashes, I should say, as white. And I just used a liquid liner, the NYX white liquid liner for that. Didn't use a special mascara or anything. And of course, you do not have to do that. It kind of takes it to a different type of level. You can just do a regular black mascara, but I was feeling crazy. I was feeling fun and I kind of want to amp it up a bit. So I just ran that across the lower lashes and bada bing, bada boom. There we go. But Ugh. Love this look too. I think it is super interesting, really cool, and I think that I'm obsessed with these lashes. These are the Rouge and Rogue lashes as well. These are the Miss Fury that I've been trying to get around to using in a look, and might be my favorite one of the set of 3 that I got. I got a little trio from Rouge and Rogue that I'll link down in the description box too, but oh my goodness, it is so pretty. I'm loving it, I'm loving it, loving it. All right, my love bugs, that is it for today's video using the Mini Breaker palette. 3 looks, 1 tutorial. Just like the last video, please let me know down below which look was your favorite and if there are any that you plan on recreating or anything that you would want to do differently, different color schemes. Like, what is calling to you? Which shades? I hope that I was able to get a lot of your guys' requests in that you guys had mentioned on comments and on my IG stories, and I did it some justice. So not the last that you will see of the Mini Breaker and the full-size Jawbreaker, because I am in love with it. They are so beautiful. I'm really impressed with the formula this round, and I mean, I don't really have any complaints. I love it. I love the color stories, and I just have so much fun. So I cannot wait to play even more with both of these palettes. They are so beautiful, and yes, I love it. I love it. Anyways, if you are new to my channel and you just stumbled upon my face for the first time, I would love it if you would take a moment to consider going down and hitting that little red subscribe button. That way you get notified when I post new videos, which are all beauty related, and I post at least 3 times a week, and you don't want to miss out on that. And just to mention to anybody that is a new subscriber or an OG subscriber, make sure your bell is tapped if you do actually want to get notified, because YouTube is weird. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Basically, if you want to get notified after subscribing, if you actually want to get notified, you have to tap that bell. So do that if you want to see that, and that is that. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and stopping by and checking out these little looks that I created, and I hope that every single one of you guys out there, every single one of you, have a great, freaking, awesome, wonderful, beautiful day. So the Mini Jawbreaker, no, blah, blah, blah. So the Mini Jaw, blah, blah. It just comes right out. Any kind of eye colors you would like. And what else did I want to say? I wanted to say something else. Harvey, excuse you. Oh my gosh. I feel so sassy with a ponytail, I'm not gonna lie. Super sassy. I'm always like, ooh, I'm a valley girl in a valley world. Stick plastic, it's fantastic.